So here we go then. 5 seconds. Race 2.
Mark rounding coming up. It looks like the Danes and then Alberto Carrero. There's battling with him. KGR is coming in. KGR Sushi Gin Tonic. It's the German.
Has it. They are off. There's a couple of early starts and a couple of penalties. One for the Dutch already.
On the inside, he can penalize Rasenlag, and he knows it.
He's forcing the Spaniard out over to the right-hand side. And you're going to see him manoeuvre now. He's going to jibe in, and it's a penalty to Lucas Moore.
How did that happen? I want to see that in replay afterwards. Hello and welcome to all of you e-sailing fans sitting out there at home or wherever you are. Some of you are back home from Poland, from the European Championship of Lasers, watching this on your mobile phone or tablet while moving back home. My name is Thomas Luthi and welcome to the E-Nations Cup. Today we have an epic battle between a very big surprise, Ireland, who qualified 4th, and Sweden, who qualified last in 13 positions in the seeding rounds. What a amazing game and positions we have there, because it's not telling the whole story. And help me to tell the story today, I will bring in my co-commentator, as always, Mr. Alec Wilkinson.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching around the world, welcome to the show. And I guess if you're in Ireland or in Sweden, either watching or playing, then it's good evening. We're in for another great Nations Cup match tonight, aren't we, Thomas?
We are in for one of those great battles where we can't tell who's going to win, because Ireland surprised us getting 4th in the seeding, and Sweden, as they also told us in some of the interviews and talking with them, they really failed their seeding rounds, and they were very surprised that it got so wrong for them. So a Scandinavian team against an Irish team, where the Swedish has been playing for a long time and the Irish hasn't been playing that much. But that's how it's going to be. And Alec, before we go into an interview with them, let's just, for all the new viewers out there, because we have a lot of viewers from Ireland and Sweden with us today, let's just tell a little bit about the format we're going to experience.
Yeah. So there we go. That's what we're playing for today. And if you look along that left-hand column, the first round, we are about to watch Ireland against Sweden. And what's interesting there as well is that in the brackets, that's their seeding. So Ireland qualified in 4th, Sweden bottom of the pile, which is what Thomas was saying. We were surprised by that. But equally, we'll see if that fortune is reversed for Sweden tonight. So a load of first-round matches coming up this week, and then we'll move into the quarterfinals, where the top 3 seeds are already waiting for the qualifiers.
Yeah, and what we're going to experience today is what we call the knockout round format. It's inspired by Davis Cup in tennis, so this is the e-sailing's world's Davis Cup. It's Nations Cup, the e-sailing Nations Cup. 9 games going to be played, 1 point for winning each round. We're going to play all 9 races today, no matter what the point score will be. And we will start with a 10 versus 10 49er. Then we go into a match race with the female in second race, a laser 5 versus 5, and then the other races coming in. But let's start with having a small interview, Alec. We met Andrew Hammy Baker from Ireland earlier today, just to hear him about what's going to happen.
Hammy Baker, captain of the Ireland team. First of all, what does it actually involve being captain of an e-sailing team?
Well, in some ways I wish I could tell you because I'm not sure how good a job I'm doing or not, but we've got a WhatsApp group going that between me and the girl Sarah from Irish Sailing. We're trying to just make sure all the team members are online at the right time and who's racing in which race and who wants to race, and I guess trying to be the link between yourselves and the actual team members.
So give us an overview of the Irish team. What can we expect in this first round?
Well, we've got quite a good spread. Obviously, the teams come from our own ranking, top 10 Irish, so that's a mixture of people just participating and racing in the game a lot. And then a lot of high caliber sailors. We've got probably 50-50 split with amateur sailors just, playing the game for fun. And then there's probably half of us who are actually current or have been pro sailors, or we've got 2 Olympians and so on. So quite a good mix. But even with this one, it's creating a bit of a drama as to who races in which race.
Who are your Olympians?
So we've got Ryan Seaton, who's been to London and Rio in the 49er class, and we've got Finn Lynch, who's current Irish representative in the laser, and he went to Rio. Yes, I'm pretty sure he did. And he's campaigning.
You're actually performance manager, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm performance manager for RYA in Northern Ireland. So the likes of Ryan Seaton, who's on our team, is one of my elite athletes. He's just finished the Europeans there in where was it? Ehos or something. And then we've got the lasers finishing up today. So Finn racing tonight. He's actually currently on the water right now, racing in the Laser Europeans in Poland. And there was a bit of a debate if he was going to be able to get finished in time because he's having to pack the boat up and get on the road again tonight.
Tell me how the seedings went for you. Were you surprised by the quality of the competition?
Yes and no. I mean, before the seeding started, it was kind of, this is an e-sailings nations, top 10 are through. Okay, we'll do what we can to make it work. And I don't think anyone's taken it too serious. It was kind of, sure, it's a bit of fun. But then actually doing the racing, and the fact it was covered live, you could watch your other guys racing, it started to get a bit more serious and ramping up. And now the WhatsApp on my phone has gone from me chasing people to see if they're going to be on time to, I'm trying to keep up with them. They're wanting to do Zoom meetings and training days and sessions, and that we need to be all mic'd up and talk to each other during the race. And
that's great.
It's definitely, it's made it a lot more professional is probably not the right word, but it's made it a lot more people are taking it seriously, and it's actually becoming a proper sport.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. And you're actually an offshore sailor, aren't you? So Hammy Baker there. And Hammy Baker is out on the race course, as are all the players. It's 10 against 10. It's race number 1. It's the 49ers, and they are go. And there are penalties there on the start line, a few over early, including the Irish captain, Andrew Baker. But the majority of the fleet choosing to go off on that left-hand side.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see it's actually the Swedish coming in the lead from the start, Alec. And it's 3 Swedish boats going to the left-hand side. It's Öring, it's Bude, and then it's Wild Kick. And Wild was winning the first race in the seeding rounds. And then it went downwards afterwards for Sweden. So interesting what's going to happen. But Brown and Stoach is coming in.
So remember, this is a team event. It's the Nations Cup, and the scoring reflects that. So as the boats tack and head off towards the middle of the course, and we start to see a load of crosses, and we might see some penalties inflicted in a little while as well. There's the first for Öring of Sweden. I'll explain to you that with this race anyway, what we do is we add up everybody's position in each of the teams, and the ones with the lowest score win the point for this race. That's how it'll work. So will it go to Ireland or will it go to Sweden? It's the 49er. It's fast and furious. They are heading upwind, a crucial leg in the 49, in the E49er. And already we're seeing a little bit of a battle going on there in the middle of the course.
Yeah, and Alec, the first race is always quite exciting because it's 10 versus 10. And see it here from 2D mode. They're entering the mark rounding zone. It will be very crowded. Let's have the scoreboard on so we can see the penalties. Nadine from Sweden, Wild from Sweden, Rommel from Sweden coming first. That's 6 points. Then Brown coming in on the outside, penalized by 2 of his own players. No, he sailed into his own teammates, getting a penalty for that mark rounding. But it looks great for Sweden. Good start for them, but it's not over yet. It's downwind action and upwind action coming up.
Well, yesterday we watched Denmark against Poland, and it was a similar case in that first race where the players got carried away. They were traveling too fast. It's the 49er. They were out of control, and they were inflicting as many penalties on their teammates as they were on the opposition. But we'll see that calm down as the fleets get smaller and the sailors sort of ease into this match.
But see here, Alec, we see here the difference of routine sailors and non-routine sailors. We see Spuda going to the left-hand side, trying to avoid penalties. But in the 49er, if you watch the top left corner, there's a radar, and the dark breeze is in the right-hand side where the most of the fleet is. So Spuda, that was in the lead from the start, is now dropped all the way together with Uring to 11 and 12. So right now it looks like Ireland is in the lead when I'm just doing my fast mathematics as I can here in the studio. So there we go, mark rounding coming up.
4 penalties handed out in one mark rounding there, and they kind of it's all right, isn't it? Because it sometimes that penalty can be lost on the upwind. It's more important to be where you want as you start the upwind leg in this E49er.
Yeah, and the 49er is an upwind boat. It's all about reading the wind intelligence. And remember, the radar up there is only an estimate what will happen within the next 8 to 10 seconds. But right now it looks like we have a hard breeze in the middle. And it's very important to be in the hard breeze, but also get the wind into your sails from the right side. Example is coming from right-hand side. So Wild, as we have in the lead from Sweden, is taking a victory in this race, as he took in the first race he did from Sweden in the seeding rounds. So amazing to see him. I really want to see him in more action in this battle we are having here.
Well, Jumanji of Ireland and Martin Marn of Ireland coming in third and fourth. They're the 2 best placed sailors for Ireland, as Wild, Sign and Nardine cross that or round that mark. Here comes Martin Marn, 40 years old. He sailed 420s and lasers and represented Ireland as well in the 420 Europeans a few years ago now, but using all that experience to try and drag the rest of his team up through the fleet.
Yeah,
but it's penalties galore again towards the back as the traffic causes problems.
And 1-2, the team captain of Ireland, Andrea Hammy-Becker, getting a penalty, dropping from 7th to 10th. But see the stats over here, Alec. That's what we're watching for in the first race here. It's a victory for Sweden. Let's see the battle up here. See, this boat is pretty hard to capture the other in wind shadow. But good job by Martin attacking Nadine here. But he cannot capture her because this boat is so fast. So first and second for Sweden. Third, fourth will go to Ireland, and fifth also. But what I'm watching here is, see how many Swedish persons there are behind. So right now it looks like a victory for Ireland. I don't need to calculate it because I can see it with my bare eyes. If not, the Swedish sailors are getting in. And the team captains from Sweden, Harting last. Wow.
It just shows you it is a team competition. It's all well and good being up at the front, but somehow you've got to help yourselves around the course. Well, that was fast and furious. It was crazy with so many boats. But as the racing unfolds, we're going to see like a match race next. We're going to see 5v5, 2 against 2, more match racing. So the next time we see all 20 sailors together will be the final race, race number 9 in the NACRA. If you thought the 49er was fast, wait till you see that.
Yeah, and let's just take the point score. It's all about getting as less points as possible for your team in this race. 3 points for Sweden in the top, 10 points, and we can see 3 boats from Ireland has 18 points, and then it's Irish, Swedish, Irish, Swedish. So 1 point for Ireland. I don't need to calculate it. I can see it with my bare eyes. So first round goes to Team Ireland in this fantastic race. So 1-0 Ireland against Sweden. And just so you guys also can know it for the future when we're coming in here, see how they're switching position. This is the race chart. It's pretty wild when we're doing this one, but we can see in the downwind action and the upwind action, number 5 and the F, that's the finish, going towards the finish line. That was where the last 5 Swedish boats were losing this race. But let's jump straight in to hear a little bit about from the Swedish team. We caught Matthias Sweet Sailor, and he's actually ending up in this race. Where did he end up? He ended up in position 19, and here we had an interview with him earlier today.
My name is Matthias, called Sweet Sailor since, I don't know, I've been e-sailing for 10 years or so. So I just called myself Sweet Sailor back in the days, and it just been since then.
Yeah.
Mostly offshore. So yeah, that's me.
So how was it to be in the seeding groups? Surprisingly, Sweden got 13. You're a Scandinavian country. Normally you see the Scandinavians are good gamers.
Yeah, we got our ass whooped. We got a couple of disconnections in some of the races, and it was really. I actually didn't thought that we were going to be last. It was catastrophic. So tonight it's payback.
And tonight you're meeting Ireland. They seeded 4, and you guys are seeded 13. So how would that go?
I don't know yet, but I saw you play yesterday, for Denmark play yesterday against Poland, and it's all about those cheap shots. So we are gonna play ugly, dirty, and make them work for the finish line. Hopefully after us.
Hopefully after us. So how I know you're not the team captain, Sweet Sailor, but. But you guys has been talking a lot about how to organize your team for tonight. So
we had.
How to do that?
We have sailed since this corona virus shit has been going on. We have sailed together for almost 10 months now. So many of us know ourselves from the computers, and many of us knows ourselves from sailing from long time ago. So we had a good talk with the Swedish Championship and everything, and yeah, we played pretty much.
Yeah. So which boat are we going to see you race in tonight?
F50, and I think as all players are playing the F49, maybe J70, or I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I just took a look on the team selection like 10 minutes ago. So
yeah. So which boats do you think is the hardest one to race, and why?
I actually think the hardest one is the starboat or laser. That's I believe the F50 could also be difficult, but I mean, as long as you stay away from the penalties, and then you could fly away. So keep momentum and just sail along and stay out of trouble.
Yeah, Matthias, best of luck tonight, and may the best team win.
Yeah, thank you.
Swede sailor confident this afternoon that his team could win it, but they're 1-0 down after the first race. They lost 127 to 83 to Ireland. But can they square things up in this match race in the Star between two of their female sailors? It's Nadine for Sweden up against Niamh Cassidy of Ireland. 20 seconds to go. The Star. It's going to be a much slower, more tactical race than we've just seen in the 49er.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting, Alec, because Nadine made a fantastic performance in the 49er race. And now we see her coming in here. She starts with a penalty. Oi, this is Lucky Ducky's chance. But Nadine has speed in it, so she's not losing a lot of it. So, but let's see. This is a start, 11-second slowdown, but they're side by side. Let's see how much this inflicts on Nadine.
That's a classic case of e-sailing being so quite different in the start from real sailing. Obviously, a crash like that is going to cause you real troubles in reality, but actually tactically, it might pay off if she's got the side of the course that she wanted and the right angles. But we're on board with Lucky Ducky here of Ireland, Niamh Cassidy. And here's Nadine of Sweden choosing to go more towards the right-hand side of the course. Lucky Ducky heading out this way, but more centrally. An attack from Nadine. We have the first cross of the match. And
what a cross. She's actually taking over the lead, Alec. She attacks a Lucky Ducky, takes over the lead. Right now she has control, can push out Lucky Ducky outside of the ley line and go for the top mark. This is going to be a very interesting battle because these boats are one downwind, except if you're doing a penalty in the start. But it's downwind. They have a wind shadow of 32 meters and much faster speed downwind. So this is going to be a battle, Alec.
So Nadine's tactics paid off there, but it's still a really, really close battle, this, as they round the first mark.
Penalty, Nadine! No, she just didn't have it. It just looked like she got a penalty. Whoosh.
All clear, and downwind they go. Now, it's all about Lucky Ducky staying in touch with Nadine. Lucky Ducky had a good couple of races in the seedings round. Can she pull it back here? Yeah. Or will Sweden even things out to make it 1-1?
And Lucky Ducky made a mistake there because the tactics in downwind is to, first of all, throw a wind shadow on the boat in front of you, but also be on the inside. And right now, Nadine is on the inside. She won back the inside position. So now when she's driving in towards the gate mark, then she can penalize Lucky Ducky. But it looks like Lucky Ducky don't care. Goes for it, sneaks away, but if she takes the wrong mark, she will lose 18 meters. A penalty now doesn't mean anything. No, she goes to the wrong mark. No, it's opening up. Nadine back in the race, losing it. No, Lucky Ducky. So see what I said here, 75 meters, 40 meters lost in going to the wrong side. So now it's all about how the upwind will go.
A little bit of distance and time lost as well with that slight sort of, slip of the fingers from Lucky Ducky. Lucky Ducky, who has loved sailing all her life. She's 45 from Cortown Sailing Club and she sort of packed it in last year and is really missing it. So she was telling us that e-sailing is a great way of staying in touch with the sport. She's really enjoying it. Well, can she enjoy it enough to manage to reel in Nadine this evening in this match race in the Star class? We're over halfway now in this race. Yeah. And she's got it down to 25 meters between them. Yeah. So she is closing slightly.
Yeah, but I think it's too late, Alec. If Nadine is rounding that top mark with 38 meters in the lead, then it's looking a hard time for Lucky Ducky. But I can say to you, just thinking about that mark rounding, why did she go to the wrong side? It's actually because she actually pressed the best VMG button. They have this best VMG button helping you to sail the best Q and angle with the maximum speed towards a mark downwind. And that was changing her course, and then she forgot to steer away from it. see Nadine going away, and that's why she went to the wrong side. 50 meters, let's see here. We are watching the white shadow. Let's see it from the top. Let's see if we can see. Oi, is Nadine just inside the wind shadow? She is. We might have a battle, Alec. 66, 6.6, 6.1, but the finish line is getting closer. Let's get down to the boats to see. Nah, they are on the last 1/3, so I think it is 1 point for Sweden at the moment.
Oh, she is closing slightly, but I think she's going to run out of racetrack. I think this is Nadine's victory. Lucky Ducky will have to make do with second place. She's hugely experienced in all sorts of different types of boats, but it hasn't been enough to beat the speed.
It looks like she's getting closer, Alec. It's not over yet. Lucky Ducky coming with speed, 0.7. The finish line is coming closer, Alec. Whoosh.
It would make an extraordinary... Oh, it is a very late push, isn't it? But it's just too late because Nadine's across the line and just wins this star class race. And that makes it Ireland 1, Sweden 1. But a really good fight back, wasn't it, from the Irish woman?
And Alec, what a fight we just had there. Again, riding it out, and then suddenly we saw Nadine in front saying, I won, I'll go to the middle. And then she got caught in the wind shadow, losing 0.2 knots, and it just increases to almost 1 knot speed coming down there in the loss.
Yeah,
so,
but it shows never give up, because she looked down and out, didn't she? But there are ways of getting back.
Yeah. And Alec, now when we are talking about ways getting back, now we are getting into a race that was very close yesterday where Denmark met Poland. And it was actually ending up, as I remember, Denmark losing it because they won the race. And that's a quite exciting thing we're going to see going to happen here now, because we're going into more team race formats now. 5 versus 5 in the laser. And there the score can actually be a tie. So what's the rules when we're coming in there?
Yeah, I mean, the beauty is that we're going to have lots of different types of boats in this format. So we go from the very fast to the slower boats, and now we're in the classic laser that everyone sails, everyone knows. And what are the rules? Well, basically, it's 5 against 5, and if it's a draw at the end of it, then the winning team loses. That's how it works out. We'll explain it more as the race unfolds, because it might not be an issue. We'll see how it pans out.
But it might pan out. The players getting ready. We are missing 1 player to get in there. So just be ready and we will go into the next race.
Sorry, I was just standing.
And Alec, in real sailing, we normally wait on the wind to come in and the race officer to say go. In e-sailing, we wait to the players to come into the servers. And right now we just get a message that one of the players had some issues locking in the game. So we're just waiting a little bit, but there are 10 players getting ready to race. And then we can start it as race officers in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's only fair that we do wait, and sometimes it takes a little while, and sometimes there's a disconnection, just before the race starts. So it's fair for us to wait. I don't know what nationality. I think he's an Irish sailor that's struggling to get onto the server, especially in a team race that's 5 against 5. You don't want to start with 5 against 4, do you? So it's worth the wait.
It's worth the wait, and let's go in the game. The players are now struggling to win the next race.
So 1-1. We are as we were 2 races ago. There's nothing between these two teams at the moment. Ireland went into it seeded 4th against Sweden, who was seeded 13th, the bottom seeded nation. That was a surprise after the seedings. It wasn't what fans expected. The Swedish players pretty experienced, but let's just follow this start now. A few penalties already picked up, and they're all poised there. The Swedes mostly on this left-hand side. The Irish choosing the committee boat end. It's go now, and they're off.
Ooh.
And some of the boats will be slowed already with penalties. Someone going round in a 360, starting again. They were over early. And I think Sputter, 65, who I seem to remember had a bad start in the very first race in the 49er, has also had a bad start this time round.
Yeah, and interesting here, it's a team race. And so, did you see how small the start line was? So that's the beautiful of this. They really need to think about how to do the things they're doing in here. So great coming in here. Here we have Nadine coming in, Uren coming in, Jumanji. They are battling for it here on this side. So let's see how this will unfold and develop at the moment. Opposite side, Paul is going away, but it's Sweden sailor. We just had an interview in the lead, and he loved this J-boat, but he was actually looking more forward to the F50. So interesting to see him in the lead. Uren covering up 2 Irish sailors here, Jumanji and Nadine.
Yeah, over on this left-hand side, I'm just looking at the radar. Seems fairly even, the breeze right across the course. And yeah, fleet approaching that upwind mark, and they're going to tack. These Irish boats will now tack in towards that mark.
And we have, Alec, we need to be very good with our eyes. We have 2 boats with a red color, 1 from each team. And it doesn't mean extra points or anything else, or they have extra agilities. They just managed not to change their color for this race. So Jumanji is on the inside from Ireland, and then Nadine, it's because they need to change colors on all boats they're using. She's in 7 at the moment. But Sweden sailor in the lead might block it. No, he's sailing for it. Then 2 Irish coming in. And Alec, it's all about getting lowest point in this race. Oh, penalty there. Jumanji sailed into a ring.
Yeah, 3 penalties so far at that top mark. And Jumanji, that has cost him dear. It's cost him a few places rounding that mark. Who else have we got? We've got Sputter 65, who's moved up to 7th, General, Rommel and Nadine. But Paul, CSBC and Brown 83, the best placed Irish boats at the moment. And they're trying to chase down the man we interviewed earlier on, Swede sailor.
Yeah, and right now we can see that the Sweden has 11, they have 10, 20, they have 30 points. So they are behind where when we calculate the team of Ireland, they are 9, they are 18, plus 6, they are 24 points. Rommel with a penalty. And remember, it's all about has the lowest point when you're coming upwind. So right now it looks like an Irish victory in this team race. And see, it looks like the tactic is to make 1 boat sneak away. So 2 Irish boats sneaking away and rest of the Irish boat battling out with the Swedish fleet here behind. So that's how it's coming in.
Another penalty for Jumanji at that bottom mark. And Paul CSBC out in front now. Swede sailor losing a lot of ground on the downwind. Brown 83 head case. That's Killian Jackson, 27 years old. Why? Well, his nickname's head case, hence his e-sailing name. And right now he's in a battle with the Swedish sailor on his right-hand side. That's Sputter 65.
Yeah, and it looks like actually a good upwind for Sweden. Right now we have 2 Irish on the last. That's 19 points plus 8 points. That's 27 points, Alec, for Ireland at the moment. But they need more points on the account, or else Sweden will still lose when we're going into the mathematics of this.
Yeah, we gave you bit of a wrong steer on the on whether it would be a draw or not. Of course, we just add up the positions, so there won't be a draw in this. But right now, at the moment, it's nice and mixed up, isn't it, Thomas? Because we've got an Irishman in the lead, 2 Swedes, an Irishman in 4th, 2 Swedes. So they really shuffled the pack here.
Yeah. And it's very close, Alec. I'm actually a little bit excited here. Oi, Rom will get a penalty and going upwind. That's a very costly one, because that's how it's going into it. So an Irish sailor sneaking away, Paul taking the lead. He just needs to slake away, and the maximum points in this race is 55 points, Alec. So getting under, now the maths coming in, 28 points, and then you win. So it's all about the points now.
This battle that we followed on the upwind between Headcase. I don't know if we can go and spot him. If you can highlight Headcase and Uring, I think it is.
Rommel,
there we go.
Headcase,
Rommel,
Uring, they're all battling here.
This is a really interesting battle, as the Irish Paul CSBC, Swede sailors, Buddha 65, they're all across the finish line. But this is interesting. The Irishman, he's like he's the sort of meat in the sandwich between the 2 Swedish boats, but his mate's coming up to help him. That's General, also of Ireland, and Jumanji bringing up the rear.
Oi, that penalty to Uring might cost them the race. Oi, a penalty on the finish line. So, Alec, let's do the math here. Ireland, let's just do the math with one team. They have 1 point, they have 5 points, they have 12 points, they have 20 points, they have 30 points, Alec.
30 points to Ireland.
So that means Sweden is winning with 25 points over Ireland. Yeah. And let's just see where was this won and lost, because so many places switch positions. But I have to say, the 5-point turn was that Jumanji got a penalty at the gate mark. There he dropped from 6 to position 10, and then Headcase losing the battle to Nadine and Uring and dropping to 7. So that's where the 2 boats were losing this race for them. So we're going
victory to Sweden, 25-30.
25-30 to Sweden, and we just need to take that one with us. And interesting, Alec, this is going to be much more closer than I actually believed. And when we're seeing these points here, see how close they were to each other. So amazing job by all of them. Alec, another victory to Sweden, but it's only 2-1, and they're actually following each other all the way. So now we're going to speed up a little bit.
Yeah, we've got a different race. We go from the lasers to the EF50s, and that will be a whole different bit of entertainment. It's very, very different. We've got boundaries, we've got fast boats, we've got a reaching start. It's going to be a different experience. It'll be interesting to see which sailors the 2 team captains have chosen to compete in that.
Yeah, and it's very close, and I'm pretty sure we'll see a Sweden sailor in there, and for him this is his favorite boat. And now we will see the difference from the Swedish sailors and the Irish sailors, because the Irish sailors started their campaign 3 months ago. Then they started playing Virtual Regatta inshore. Some of them I've seen on the stage for a longer time, almost a year. But most of the Swedish sailors has been here the last 10 months, not being allowed going out sailing. So they have been using their time on e-sailing. And in that period of time, we had the SailGP qualification campaign. And a lot of the Swedish sailors was in there. So
yeah, it's and I was just checking. You were absolutely right. Swede sailor will be competing. Harding and Julius are the other 2 for Sweden. It's 3 against 3. It's the EF50.
Yeah, and right now we can say it's the 2 team captains. Andrew Baker, Hammy Baker will also be in there. So the 2 team captains are taking on this race, and also together with some of their teammates. The they're not all ready yet, but let's go in and have an overview of what's going to happen. And there we have the players, Alec, getting ready to come in and attack. And it is the F50, and see here, it's a foil boat, it's a fast foil boat, but this wing is quite special. It's not a sail, it's a wing.
Yeah, so it's a very different prospect. It's the only winged boat in the Nations Cup. For those of you who haven't watched or didn't watch the SailGP e-sailing competition, I can tell you that it's very fast. It's very skittish, and the boundaries force those boats in together. So although we've only got 6 boats on the course is smaller, and it's a shrunken, concentrated area. And what that does is force them into a lot more maneuvers, so they can't just go off for miles in one direction. So you've got to be fast, you've got to have quick reactions, and you need to know the boat. The 6 sailors will hopefully have had plenty of practice on this boat, because it's like a racehorse. It's difficult to control. It's full of power, and you've just got to get it right.
Yeah, and
the start also very important.
Yeah, it's a reaching start, opposite what we're going to see with the rest of the races. Reaching start, for those who are new in the game and watching it, is they're racing with speed towards that starting line we'll see up here. We can jump to it. And then there's a mark, a yellow mark out here. They need to reach that and round it, going downwards to a gate mark down in the bottom down here. And there they go upwind to another gate, downwind to the gate, upwind, and then to the reaching mark and to the finish. And now it looks like all the players are in there, so let's get ready to rumble. And Alec, it's quite interesting what we're going to see here, because it's going to be a 3 versus 3, an F50 coming in, and will they attack each other in the start? Because ruining the start will slow them down. A false start will make you come last in the group from the start. So interesting what they're doing. See here, we have one of the Swedish sailors placing him on the inside, covering up to Irish boat and preventing them in starting. So that's also a tactic where the 2 other sailors are getting ready to a full power start.
Yeah, I mean, in this sort of fleet 3 against 3 in the past, what we've seen is all of the boats just trying to start way back on that boundary there on the right hand side, and then they just pick up wind round about now, 15 seconds to the start, and they accelerate away, and they just focus on trying to be at that start as quickly as possible. But I'm thinking that Swedish boat over on the far side at the pin end of the line was holding back the 2 Irish boats to set free the Swedish boats closest to us. But right now, Stoosh has got away best for Ireland. Andrew Baker, Jocelyn Hill, the other competitors for Ireland here.
Yeah, and a nice turn by him. But see that tactics from the start with Sweden sailor covering up Hammy Baker and Jocelyn Hill. So really it's coming. Penalty to Harding, the captain of Sweden, in the battle against Stoosh. So that's dropping him down. So now it's all open, Alec. 6 boats battling it out. And again, it's all about getting the lowest point score in this race. So this time it's going to be very, very hard racing. Ireland first and second.
Traditionally, the EF50, once they get an advantage of about 50 meters at the front of the fleet, they're very difficult to reel in. However, they're also difficult boats to control, and you often see little mistakes that allow the rest of the fleet to catch the leader. We'll see what happens here, but right now Stoosh is looking good with a lead of 120 meters off his teammate Hammy Baker. Then comes Julius Hall, Harding, and Sweet Sailor.
Yeah.
So it's 3-4-5 for the Swedes right now.
But remember, Alec, there's 21 points in this race. In this case, it can actually be a draw. And if the Irish are winning this race and it's a draw, no, it can't be a draw. It's 21 points. So it's all about getting less than 11 points, 10 points. And right now, the Sweden players has 11 points and the Irish has 10 points. So that battle we see in between these 4 sailors are crucial.
Absolutely. And the battle at the back, which is only separated by about 50 meters, is also going to be crucial. Can Jocelyn Hill pull it back and reel in Swede Sailor?
Yeah,
Swede Sailor, who you were saying was pretty experienced in this EF50
and there he penalizes.
competition. Hammy Baker picking up a penalty.
Yeah, by Harding, the two captains attacking each other. Sweet Sailor coming in, and see that switching around all the points. Right now we can see Sweden are on 10 points, Alec. 10 points. So that's how it's going in.
So Sweden ahead.
So it's
nicely spread out across the course. It's even breeze right across this narrow course, forcing them to tack and jibe as much as possible to keep it entertaining for the fans.
And there we go, rounding the mark. Harding coming in third. Julius Hallström in second. Interesting. Andrew going opposite. The two captains spreading out. Sweden Sailor following Andrew, but straight away tacks to the opposite side. Jocelyn Hill going over here. So we have an Irish in the lead, an Irish in fourth, and an Irish in fifth and sixth. So if 1 point is switching position, if Hammy gets third or Jocelyn gets fifth, then it's Ireland winning. So right now it looks like Sweden is in the lead, but it's going to be very, very close this race, Alec. We can't see it yet, but it's going to be a close ending because one small mistake for one of the Swedish boat and it flips around.
Yeah. So we need to keep an eye on the distance then between Hammy Baker and Harding. They were battling it out, weren't they, at that last gate? And Baker picked up a penalty, and that's made the difference so far.
Yeah. And the first battle we might see here is Andrew Baker coming in on Julius Hallström. Julius Hallström is crossing over to here the ley line, where the ley line is. No, he's too far away. Andrew Baker, he needs to approach it. So if Ireland is doing something beautiful, then they will focus all their energy on Sweet Sailor now as a team. Yeah. That means Andrew Baker, he needs to slow down and make Julius Hallström move away together with Harding, and then help his teammate against Sweden Sailor.
Okay,
it doesn't look like that.
The two rear enders then are coming up to this gate, and time is running out for Jocelyn Hill to catch Swede Sailor. Let's have a look at the differences between them. It's about 100. Is that about 100 meters between them?
Yeah, almost 100 meters.
Yeah, that's a long, long way to go, and there's just the final reaching mark.
Yeah,
so it looks like.
And see what Andrew is doing now. He's doing a wind block. He's putting his boat in the way from Sweden Sailor, and that's a dairy tactic. It's win or lose everything. Let's see if it succeeds.
This is the captain taking the lead and inflicting a penalty on Swede Sailor and slowing him down, and then another penalty. And you can do this in e-sailing, but it's not enough, is it?
No, sadly.
Jocelyn Hill still couldn't close the gap. It still wasn't enough. Andrew Baker did his best as team captain. And in the end, Jocelyn Hill was just too far behind to make up the distance.
Yeah, so 10 points for Sweden, 11 points for Ireland, giving them the victory. And when we are going into watch where was this won and lost, then I have to say it was actually the battle in between Julius Hallström and Andrew Baker, and also the battle against Sweet Sailor and Jocelyn Hill, who made the outcome. But I have to say what Sweden Sailor did in the start, going in front of the others, was such a beautiful way of preventing them to have a good start. Great stuff, great race.
Really, really good tactics by the Swedes there. And I think the other nations who will be competing later in the week, they'll be watching this and thinking, aha, that's something we need to try as well.
Yeah, and a beautiful race, actually, because a lot of tactics in the start and also a lot of tactics in the racing in the middle of the race. And this just shows what team races are doing. But Alec, now we are coming into one of our favorite races. Race number 5. Certified player versus certified players. It's 2 versus 2. And this time, Alec, this time, it can be a draw.
J70.
Yeah, it can be a draw.
This time it can be a draw.
This
yes.
time it can be a draw. And yesterday we saw Lucas Moore losing this on the finish line.
Yeah.
And that's going to be very easy.
That's right. So if you finish first and
fourth, 5 points.
First and fourth, then it's a draw, isn't it? If you add up the points, but basically you lose because you got the winning boat, and the reason for it is to encourage team playing, team racing, and that's why that rule is there. So it's going to be tactically, it's going to be another fascinating race. This time in the J70, so a lot slower than the F50, but still a fast boat. And watch out for those downwind legs in the J70.
Yeah, and they're going to have huge battle downwind legs, but it's a tactical boat when they're going upwind. And there we will also see the battles where they'll try to penalize each other. The racers are ready. Let's go in and watch race number 5. And there they are, Alec. 2 versus 2. Julius Hallström and Wild coming back. That's an interesting call, because every time we have been seeing Wild in this game, he has been winning against Ryan Seaton and Andrew Hammy Baker himself. The captain is taking one more for the team.
Yeah, Hammy Baker, who's performance manager for Northern Ireland sailing with the RYA. So he knows his stuff. He's hugely experienced. He's done all sorts of sailing. Can that experience pay off here? He needs to pull one out of the hat, as does Ryan Seaton, because they are 2 races down on Sweden right now.
But it looks like a clean start. And what are the Swedes doing? They are giving the lead to Ireland in the start. And Wild is actually having a slow start. That might be costly. But remember, this boat is 1 downwind, upwind. Oh, it doesn't matter that much. But Andrew Hammy Baker is not all alone. On his team, he has Ryan Seaton, 32 years old, representing Ireland at the Olympics in the 49er class as a helm in 2012 and 2016. So this is going to be very interesting. And it looks like they're splitting up, taking 1 racer each.
Yeah, a sort of 2 match races almost going on at the same time. But the Irish have the slightest advantage now. That's a good aerial shot of what's happening. Gives us an idea of distance.
Yeah, and interesting. See, Ryan is covering the 2 Swedish boat, and then Andrew is just sneaking away, winning more and more meters. So Wild cannot do anything about it at the moment.
Good tactics from the Irish. And they do have arguably their most 2 experienced sailors in this. If two sailors know what they're doing, it's Andrew and Ryan. And Ryan Seaton really showing all that experience from 2 Olympic Games.
Yeah, and there we can see here, Ryan is actually slowed down right now. And there's a huge gap up to Andrew Baker, so he cannot help Ryan. So if Ryan is getting a penalty now, and the 2 Swedish boats can sneak away, then it looks really bad for Ireland, because then Andrew Baker needs to slow down, put in a wall block, and help his teammate, because if he's just sneaking away and winning it, then they're actually losing.
Well, there's obviously risk in every tactic, especially when one boat hangs back to try and slow down the opposition. But if Ryan Seaton, he knows what he's doing, he'll stay out of trouble. And he's come off very well in his battle with Wild.
Yeah, but
so the 2 Irish boats are now going to be first to the upwind mark.
Yeah. Andrew coming first, really good race by him. Ryan Seaton also a very nice race. And very interesting, how long distance is there from Ryan to Wild? There's to the leader, there we have it, there's 20 meters. So actually the Irish can actually sneak away now, because Julius Hallström, he needs to go the opposite way of Wild, or else he will actually put a wind shadow into Wild's boat. So they need to split up, and they're doing that. But Ryan Seaton outside of the wind shadow in the first downwind. this is giving a good lead for the Irish. See here in the chopper view. There we have it. Ryan, Andrew, Wild, and Julius Hallström.
Yeah. The 4 boats just matching each other, 2 against 2. The Julius seems to have sort of come adrift on this downwind mark. He's sort of lost his man, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And Andrew Baker is round, heading upwind, and it's a clean mark rounding for the rest of the boats as well.
Yeah, but see here, Ryan Seaton is actually in trouble now because both of his followers can capture him in wind shadow and downwind. So that's a double wind shadow coming in. So Andrew, he needs to take a chance now. Either he sneaks away and go for the wind, or else he actually waiting for this battle to help out Ryan, because right now Julius Hallström went to the right hand side where the harder breeze is, while Ryan had to cover up Wild, and that's giving Julius Hallström, I think, 10-12 meters, getting closer to Ryan, maybe coming on the side of him and penalizing him now. So Hammy Baker needs to take a chance. He needs to think up what to do. Let's see what's happening here.
Well, Hammy Baker will be heading off towards the finish line very soon. And Ryan Seaton, once he gets round this mark, will just need to accelerate away and keep out of trouble. That's all he has to worry about.
But see the meters, he's not far enough away, so Wild can capture him in wind shadow. Julius, no! There, Wild lost it. Hitting the mark, Alec. No, it couldn't be worse for Sweden. This is going the way of Ireland. No, there it was. Unforced penalty ending this race. So Ireland will get this point. See, they're splitting up just to confuse them. And the only thing they need to take care of this is is that Hammy Baker is sailing into very low wind. So he can still lose it, actually. He needs to go towards the middle. He's also doing that now. See the speed difference, 30.5, 11.9, but it's a first and a second, and will also be a first and a third. They cannot lose this one.
Yeah, but look, the wind's come up now on that right-hand side. It was light, but it's the colour of that ocean has darkened, so it's actually sped up, and they have sped up, and they're heading to the line. It was a perfectly raced race from the Irish. Their tactics and strategy were perfect, and they executed it in the best way possible. And Sweden, in the end, 3rd and 4th. But it's now Ireland 2, Sweden 3, and we've only had 4 out of the 5 races.
And I'm just helping Alec. He's sitting down because he was all hit by this 5 out of 9. He just knocked down 4 out of 5 races. Now, it was 5 out of 9 races, Alec, we just had. But what we saw here was that the luck of the Irish. They have the four-leaf with them.
I don't think there was any luck involved. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They had a plan, and they executed it perfectly. That's what it was.
Yeah, but again, I have to say, if Wild didn't make that unforced penalty hitting the mark, he sailed literally into the mark, taking a very high risk in that turn, then we might have seen another outcome of it, because then suddenly 2 of the boats might have been able to capture Ryan Seaton.
Yeah, I mean, they might have done. They might have also, if the wind hadn't suddenly picked up on the right-hand side, they might have catched Hammy Baker as well. But it didn't. So, the Irish got it. They had their plan, and the plan worked.
Yeah.
Simple as that, really. But hey, Sweden are still 1 up.
They are. And
however many races we've had.
Yeah,
they're still 3-2 up.
It's 3-2, and we're going into race number 6, Alec, because 3 + 2 is giving 5, and the next race is then 6, and they are getting ready, and we're going into a match race, and it's actually because they don't have any certified player. They only have 1 certified player, that's Irish. Then they are allowed to choose the best player on the team to do this match race, and it's the Star Boat, and it's coming up mano a mano, the 2 best players in both teams in the Star. There we go, Alec. They are ready in here. It's the match race, the top players, the Swedish polar bear and the four-leaf of Ireland. So the luck of the Irish against the Viking, or just a bear, already eating him up with the first penalty.
Yeah, the polar bear on the sail, but it means little bear, doesn't it, his name? Either way, he's got a battle on with General of Ireland. 17 seconds to go in this star boat. And he's just being held off. The General holding off. He's in control of Piccolo, also of Sweden.
But what is Piccolo doing? He's so slow. He's not hitting the best VMG button. No, he's going upwind.
He's got it all wrong, whatever he's done. He's struggling, isn't he? He's struggling with his controls. I don't know whether he's using a phone or whether he's using a laptop or what, but that was a disastrous start for the Swede.
So that is actually a disastering start for Sweden, because General, I know him from e-sailing. He has been racing for a couple of months actually in a high level. He's actually one of those players I have seen most in it. So this might already be over, but it's only 38 meters. But let's see the polar bear coming in here. What a beautiful boat the star boat is, and the mechanics in it. But can this skipper get close enough to General in front of him?
Well, it's going to be difficult in the star boat. Unless we see a lot of breeze suddenly come up and catch General out. It's an upwind, downwind leg, standard course. So 4 legs.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see Piccolo. He's actually a very routine sailor. He won the World Match Racing final in Master 4 times. His name is Bjørn Hansen. So maybe it's the difference in between real sailing and e-sailing he just got caught in here, because it looks like he started upwind in the start and not with the wind in the sides, and it's a really hard one for him to come back in this one.
Well, yeah, I mean we'll see. The star's got quite a large wind shadow, and well, he's outside that, so he should be able to close him down a little bit on this downwind leg if he gets his line right. Now, you were talking earlier at the start about the VMG button. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, the best VMG button is helping your boat to get into the best possible angle with the best possible speed to water mark. And right now they're not using it here because this is a battle. But see, the wind just disappeared. This is actually helping Piccolo. Piccolo is back in the race. See, General losing momentum. The wind just disappeared. This is not the luck of the Irish. It's the luck of the Swedish. See, everything changed in that downwind. Piccolo capturing General in the wind shadow, Alec. A battle has come.
And General hasn't found the wind. Hasn't found the wind at all yet. He's so slow. He's a knot slower than the Swede. All he's got now is his right of way, and it's a penalty
to General, because Piccolo used the rules the right way, came on the inside, and then tacked downwind. And General now behind and needs to fight himself up. That's changing the whole thing. A wind shift just came in and helped the Swedish. So the luck of the Irish is gone. Maybe next time they should invite in one of those lucky dwarves to help them.
Yep. It was a really clever, fast move, though, from the Swede, because the Irish boat had right of way and was trying to force him out, but just one small maneuver from the Swede gave him right of way and gave him the chance to inflict the penalty. And that's made the big difference. So we wrote him out before the first leg was even over, and now it's looking like the Swede might win this.
Yeah, I actually think General, he made one big mistake. First of all, he listened to us, because I know the players are watching our live stream just to get some extra intel. And then he said, "Oh, it's okay. I don't need to do best VMG. I don't need to take care." And then the wind disappeared, and then he lost all momentum. But now we're coming up to the mark. It's Picco Lawson. It's Bjørn in the lead. It's Bjørn Hansen, a winner of the World Match Racing Final in Master 4 times. Can he also win this match race in Virtual Regatta inshore in the E-Nations Cup?
And we should say, if you're... Oh, he's very close to that mark.
He's around it. So now it's General's turn. He's also around it. So the battle will begin now.
And I just wanted to say, you know, from for those who are new to the game and watching this, we have nothing to do with the wind strength. Yes, we start the race, don't we, Thomas?
Yeah.
But that's as far as it goes. It's the computer, the algorithms that do the rest. So there's no human intervention in this to speed up the breeze or slow or kill the breeze or make the racing more entertaining. That is the game.
Yeah, but see here, General 6.8, Picco Lawson 6.5, and General he's having speed in the boat, 0.3 more, but he's not using the wind shadow at Picco Lawson. So he's not slowing down Picco Lawson. You need to slow him down to capture him. But they're getting closer. This is going to be on the finish line, Alec. Please do something. I will lose breath now.
22 meters, just 20 meters now between the two. 33-meter wind shadow on this boat. So he's trying to steer clear of that and still keep up his speed. But I don't think he's going to manage it. He's run out of track. Piccola also of Sweden gets the victory. General finishes just behind him in second place. And it's Ireland 2, Sweden 4 now.
Amazing race. I didn't see that comeback come, but sometimes we will get surprised. Wow, Alec.
That's sailing for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You think you're out. You think you're out of it, and you're dead and gone, and then suddenly the wind changes, and you're back in it. That's why you must never give up. And well done to the Swede for not doing that.
And for not doing that. And just to all the new viewers out there, we can see a lot of new viewers coming in. Let's just go through the format once time, Alec, again, because now we're coming into race number 7. And race number 7 is a 3 versus 3 in a J17. And then after we're going to speed up with race number 8, 2 versus 2 in an F50. And then we're going to end up with a NACRA 10 versus 10, just as we started, just in a faster foil boat, 10 a 49er. But
now, just tell me if I'm right or wrong, Thomas, because my maths has been off all night tonight. But if I'm not mistaken, if Sweden win the next race, the match is theirs?
Then the match is theirs, but we will watch the last of the races. That's part of the game, where we're doing all races just for the honor also and to get the best score. And yesterday we saw in the last race the Polish captain, Miszko, winning the last race big time over the Danes, but the Danes hunted down the rest of the team and took it. But they're battling for one thing, Alec. They're battling to get into the next round, the qualifier 2, where they're going to meet Denmark. So will it be a Scandinavian battle, or will it be the luck of the Irish coming in and taking over that race?
Well, only time will tell. The next race might tell us that. The winner of the second quarterfinal, so Denmark against Ireland or Sweden, will face the winner of Spain against France or Japan. So it's not going to be easy to progress to the semi-finals either way.
And Alec, the players are getting ready. It is a J-boat, 3 versus 3 J-boat, long upwind coming in. And they are in here. It's Bude, 6'5". It's Rommel, it's Wild from Sweden. They are getting again Heads Case, Ryan Seaton and Martin Mahjong.
Yep, Martin Mahn of Ireland against and Wild Sig of Sweden. So we've seen all 3 of all 6 of these already in action. So they're all warmed up. and there'll be some of them will want revenge on the opposition as well for past misdemeanors. But they're going to be early if they're not careful. 3 seconds still to go. They just halt the boats right on the line, but it's not soon enough for Sputa 65. That's his third bad start of the night, I think.
Yeah, and this time he got sailed down by Martin, just covering, ready to attack, and he made a flawless attack on him. Headcase in the lead, but he's covered by Rommel. Oh, a penalty to a Swedish in the middle. Double tack on Wild. So Martin and Ryan sneaking away. This looks like a good start for the Irish, but Alec, we don't want to do any more commentators' curse on them tonight. So let's see how this will evolve. Wild, he is in 6th, but he's one of the best players in this night's Nations Cup round.
Yeah, Thomas, don't use the words "the luck of the Irish" again. Not till the end, anyway. Headcase right out in front, but really close and side by side over in the middle of the course there. And well, it's 1st and 2nd to Ireland, 3rd and 4th to Sweden, and then it's a mix. So again, it's going to be an interesting battle at the back as much as at the front in this team race.
Yeah, and let's see here. We can see Sputa, he's now in the lead. He had a bad start, but he's coming up in the lead. He's going to help Rommel, covering him, and that's also why Martin is going here to the opposite side, because he wants to take over Sputa's position. See, close battle, penalty to Sputa. Oh. Yeah, that's too late for him to maneuvering. So right now, 2 Irish players are in control of Rommel, and Ryan Seaton is control of Wild, and Sputa, he needs to find out what to do now.
I think Sputa has already experienced at e-sailing, but I think he's picked up a lot of lessons tonight racing against the Irish. And if Sweden goes through, he'll be taking those lessons through to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and it's a very important race, this one, Alec. It's a match point for Sweden, but Ireland looks great at the moment. Remember, it's all about having under 11 points. Right now, it's 10 points for Ireland, 11 points to Sweden. So the Irish are in the lead at the moment. And that's no matter what if Rommel is in the lead of the race, because it's a team race. It's all about points, and it's all about getting under 11 points. Coming in, Headcase, followed by Rommel. But Rommel under attack by Martin. But see Sputa getting ready to do a counter attack. And then we have the battle of the giants behind. Wild against Ryan Seaton.
Here we go. Martin Mahn and Rommel coming in together into this top mark. Martin Mahn with the advantage. Really experienced sailor, the Irishman. And he's going to round this mark nicely without any trouble. The Rommel slots in. Oh, fighting it out with Headcase, who picks up a penalty, trying to go round on the inside of the Swede.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting, a penalty to Headcase, because he came from starboard, he maneuvered into starboard, but he was in the zone, Alec. He was in the zone doing it and maneuvered. So Rommel came from the inside, so he had the right away. That's the algorithm of the game. So a penalty to Headcase. And see Wild, he's all out of the race. So it's all up to the 2 Swedish persons to capture Martin, because it doesn't matter Headcase, and Ryan Seaton is getting 4th and 5th. So they need to either penalize Headcase or Ryan Seaton to make them drop down to Wild, or they need to capture up with Martin up here in the lead. Or else it looks like the Irish is taking the victory.
Yeah, Martin Mahn coming out to this ley line, followed by Sputa 65.
And see, Wild is too far away, so the 3 Irishmen has all the time to do what they want to with the Swedish, but the Swedish are really fighting for it. Sputa on the inside, Martin coming in. It's not changing anything. It's still a lead to the Irish. And now the upwind is coming. A split? Ooh, interesting. That might lose points, important points for Sweden. That split there.
Yeah, Sputa's done well, hasn't he? Coming from the back of the fleet. He's made up lots of space, lots of distance, and is now ahead of Ryan Seaton. But what about the 2 Swedes at the back? They need to get further up. They need to get ahead of Ryan Seaton.
Yeah, and right now, right now if Spude losing this battle. He's crossing in. If he's losing his momentum and where he is at the moment, then the Irish racers can go away. But way defended by Sweden. Good attack. Rommel attacks Ryan Seaton. Spude coming in. This is close. Oh, he just managed to tack away Martin. So close of each other. Ryan Seaton, head case, Martin. They are in the lead at the moment. They are 9 points and 12 points for Sweden. Another attack coming in, but avoiding that from Ryan Seaton. So, Alec, what to do now? Spude, he needs to be in the lead. He needs to slow them down. He needs to do what we said yesterday. A huge wall block or wind block. He needs to break down everything.
So that's what he's going to be asking himself. He can let Martin Marn go, but how can Sputter stop the others? Certainly not by letting Headcase go past.
No, and there we see it here. Sputter, Martin, Ryan in control of Rommel, Headcase in control of Wild. But the battle here in between these four boats is actually getting Wild coming up to the top. So interesting what happened here. So right now it's Ryan Seaton. He just needs to keep in fifth and make sure his two teammates are getting first and second. Then it doesn't matter which position he's getting into. So the battle up here we need to watch is Headcase, Martin against Wild. Because Wild is the only one who can do anything for the Swedish if the Irish is not going to win this one. Rounding it in here. Wild coming in. Headcase.
Yeah, Headcase out in front, and the Swede. Oh, he's going to try and get second, but he doesn't, and he picks up a penalty.
That's a well-timed attack. Yeah.
Goes ahead. He tried to attack, but I don't know. Would he have been better off just holding back?
No. Well-timed attack. It was like he had a torpedo on his boat, targeting it on Wild, sending it into him, and he got, I have to say, he hit that starboat. And what happening? Spude, he knows he's lost. He cannot be in the race. So Spude is losing. He doesn't matter. He's just going into confuse. So right now, looks like a victory for Ireland. Spude is giving up. He's not rounding the marks. Rommel coming in here. So everything looks like it's over. It's a point for Ireland. It looks like the Swedish just threw the towel into the arena. See Spude sailing back. He knows that was a mistake. So, points for Ireland. Great race here. But I have to say, that attack Martin did on Wild was the trick here.
Yeah, I mean, that was so erratic from Sputter that we can... I think we have to presume that he somehow lost a bit of a connection or got a glitch and lost where he was going. But anyway, it doesn't matter. There was no coming back from his position anyway. And it's
what happened? One of the Irish lost connection. So, first, Ryan Seaton needs to get third if the Irish are going to win. So, now it all changed. And he's just managed to get third. 10 points for Ireland. Whoa. There's no luck in Ireland today. And Spude also lost connection. So, two boats lost connection in this race. But that connection for Martin... as the last one, is giving him 6. That's 10 points. That's 11 points for Sweden. So we, luckily for the Irish this time, we can give them a point. So it's 3-4 now. What an ending, Alec. What an ending.
That's an extraordinary ending. Extraordinary. And it goes to show how you can't say, oh, I'm third, I'm happy. You've always got to attack because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's happening at the back of the fleet. You don't know if your winning boat might just drop out, lose connection. Although it must be said that I'm pretty sure in saying out of the races we've seen, not just tonight but yesterday and all the seeding races. That's the first time we've actually seen someone drop out of one of the races.
Yeah, but it's also
unusual.
We also in a country like Ireland, and I know you're in Britain, Alec, and I know how much issues you guys have with internet. Where the Scandinavian countries, it's a whole other story. But I'm also amazed that one of the Swedish, I have actually think, Spude, I'm getting a message that he actually lost connection also, and then he came back in the race. That's why he's still that way. But the game was won and lost where Martin attacked Wild, well precise attack, and that's where he won it. So
yeah, but I think that was part of their tactics. And when we spoke to the Irish team captain earlier on today, Andrew Baker, he was saying that they were going to chat, they were going to communicate. They've been trying to find the best way of doing that during the racing, and not just listen to us waffling on in the commentary, but they did actually want to talk to each other and warn them and do the maths so that those at the front knew what was happening at the back and so on. And I think the communication has certainly worked in the last couple of races.
Yeah, and it's also quite interesting because opposite the other teams, they have been until now using WhatsApp. And that's a very slow communication tool, because in the other two we gave them Discord, they're actually in the same group and can talk together, see each other's screen without losing connection and all that. So that's what's coming in. Alec, we're getting ready to speed up a little bit now. We're going into the F50, 2 versus 2. We are missing 2 players to join in, 1 from each team, and then we're getting ready there. But it's 4-3 to Sweden. If Ireland win this one, then it's all up to the 10 versus 10 in the 9th race, and that's going to be insane.
Well, we saw that last NACRA race last night between Denmark and Poland. The match had already been decided, but it was crazy. It was crazy, wasn't it? It was fast. They were flying all over the place. So for the Swedes to leave the match to that very last race is very risky indeed. They'll want to seal the deal in this F50 game.
And when we are saying F50, the players are ready. And there we go in, Alec. 2 boats. The Irish was best in the last F50 race, and they made a tactic to cover up the Swedish sailors. No, it was the Swedish sailor covering up the Irish sailor, going in front of them. And this time it looks like opposite, that the Irish are ready to go in front of the Swedish sailors. So, how to race this? 4 new sailors in this one. Herminator, Brown, Piccolursen, Paul, CSBC, and Boran, coming in there. Penalty to an Irish boat, but it doesn't matter. It's just before the start. Another penalty now will inflict the start.
So here we go then. Race number 8 in the EF50. Will Sweden win this and seal the match, or will Ireland square the match to 4-4 and then take it to the very last race?
Yeah, and remember...
They are away. It's fast. They're heading for that first reaching mark, and Ireland just has the advantage. But Herminator's on the inside. Ireland round first. Paul CSBC.
Piccolursen in trouble, but avoiding that. But again, Alec, we have a case in this race where it can get draw. So if the Irish are winning and losing, then the Swedish are losing. So there's 2 ways of winning this one: winning on points, or make sure that it gets draw and you don't win. So the Irish in the lead, and in third, it looks great. Herminator in second. The Swedish need to do something. Piccolursen, we had a fantastic comeback in the match race. Björn Hansen is in third. No, Brown making a super huge turn, dropping to fourth, getting Piccolursen the chance to come back in the race. This is a crucial moment, Alec. See there? From the side, Piccolursen coming in.
Their cross coming in. He has right of way. Paul CSBC tries to head him off. Yeah. And he tries to inflict a penalty, but it doesn't work. And he cuts in on the inside and accelerates away.
Yeah, and here we see... No, penalty!
Also, there we go. He got it in the end.
Yeah.
He managed to inflict that penalty in the end on the Irishman. But look out in front. Paul CSBC really pulling away at the front. But that's no good if Brown 83 is stuck back here.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see these 2 skippers battling it out, because they're doing it the non-F50 way. they are doing too many tacks in it. See, every time they attack, they lose 11 knots of speed, Alec. It takes 11 seconds to go up to top speed. So, that match race they actually had there, they both lost momentum totally. But Piccolorsen coming up as a winner.
And that's why it's designed with boundaries, to force them to tack, to slow them down, because otherwise they'd be on long, straight tacks. But our leaders through that gate.
Oh, Piccolorsen losing momentum, Alec. There it's going. It has to go downwind to avoid a penalty. Oh, he just saved it. But now it's side by side. It's all open again.
And I thought he pushed his luck on that boundary. You can do that and get away with it sometimes, depending where you are on the track, on the race course. But Herminator's away, and so is Piccolo also, and Brown 83 now.
Yeah, these two are side by side. Brown has an issue. I see where Brown has an issue in F50. He's really bad in the mark roundings. Really bad. He made a very bad mark rounding. That's giving Piccolorsen speed. See, 43.6. Brown, 38. He's coming up in speed. 40, 41, 42. But Piccolorsen in control again. But see, Paul waiting down there now.
Yeah, he's waiting for his teammate to catch up. He's going to try and create problems for the Irish. They've got nothing to lose. For the Swedes. The Irish have nothing to lose here. They're 4-3 down against Sweden. Sweden win this, then they've won the match. But yeah, Brown on those turns. It's what we were saying earlier, that this is such a fast, fiddly boat that if you lack the experience at this sort of speed, then you can get into trouble.
Yeah, but see here, Paul, he's going to battle Herminator, but Brown actually doing a great race here. He chose to go to the right side, opposite the others. So he's going in front of Piccolorsen. So right now it's the Irish in the lead. So now it's all about making sure you're capturing speed, covering up the other boats, and keep it there. Brown needs to focus on the race. He does attack, again slows down for 11 seconds, Alec. That's costly. It's a side-by-side here.
A great comeback, though, by the Irish. Brown looked down and out, but now they're back in it. Look, first and
penalty,
second. And another cross. Oh, and Herminator picks up the penalty this time. A great move from Brown 83. And that might just give him the distance he needs, the breathing space he needs to focus on getting his speed up and keeping it up. But Piccolo also is coming in again. One tack too many, really, from Brown 83 as Paul rounds this mark.
The Swedish penalizing each other. No, Herminator needs to slow down. Piccolorsen needs to continue his move. That was costly. They had a chance, and there they're penalizing each other. It's game over, Sweden. It's going to be an Irish victory.
The Swedes getting themselves all wrapped up in knots. I thought Piccolo also actually missed the mark at one point, but that might have just been a graphic thing.
No, he did it because he had to avoid Herminator sailing into him. At the same time, Herminator slowed down his boat, so both were avoiding each other instead of just one of them giving in full speed. So lack of communication could prevent that. So Ireland winning it, Alec.
All of Ireland has won this race. Brown 83 is going to take second place for Ireland. And that means it is now Ireland 4, Sweden 4. It comes down to the very last race.
And Alec, it's actually happening. What we discussed all the time. 4-4. Race number 9 is going to choose who's winning this. Will it be the Irish? Will it be the Swedish? And it's all up to this boat we're seeing here, the Nacra 17.
The Nacra 17, yeah, it's fast, it's furious, it's up there with the 49er that we started with. The format is the same, all 10 sailors, all in it together. So we've got a fleet of 20 taking each other on. And I'm just looking at some of the stats for the Nacra. You know, it's downwind, it is so fast, and it's downwind that I think this race could be won. But hold on to your hats, because working out what is happening with these boats traveling so fast is almost impossible. Even Thomas will be challenged with this.
Even I will be challenged because it will go so fast. And Alec, normally when we race the Nacra, the tactic is to win it upwind. Because this boat you can win 20 to 30 meters upwind by choosing to go to the right side. But there are so many boats that which side is the right, and they will battle for their position. The start is crucial. It's a big starting line to have, but the start is crucial. And then it's coming into that downwind action, as you said. Yeah, but they're sailing fast downwind, so using the wind shadow is only 24 meters big on this boat, actually 22. So it's pretty hard to attack each other downwind.
Now, of course, in real sailing, everything's happening slightly slower. So you've got time to work out, you know, who is across the water, what position they're in, do the calculations. You've got to be quick. You've got to be fast in real sailing as well. But in this, it's over just like that. So the guys and girls at the back I think it's almost impossible to know. All they can do is sail as fast as they can, keep out of the way of their teammates, and just try and be as far up the fleet as possible, and then see what happens when the calculators are taken out at the end.
Yeah, and that's the calculation in the end that is going to help us to tell who's winning this race. Let's go into it, Alec. The race has started. It's going to be a hell of a fight. Race 9, 10 versus 10, Nacra 17, wind speed 25 knots at the moment.
Wow.
So it's going to be a really foiling boat. Speed, speed, speed. Who will take it?
Yeah, the only foiling boat in the Olympic Games at the moment. And how's it going to perform here in the E-Sailing Nations Cup? 13 seconds to go. Look at all those boats already speeding up towards this pin end. One of the Irish boats. He's going to have to slow. He's too early. He does just that. And now they turn into the right direction, and they're away. And look at all those penalties, inevitable in a fleet so big. And they are slowed down. But look, over on this left side, the Irish are going left, left, left. The Swedes are more in the middle, but we've got a bunch of green on the left and a bunch of yellow in the middle. Who's got the right tactics?
Yeah, and the wind pressure in the middle, but it's the Nacra, Alec. And sometimes this boat, it's quite a funny boat in the game, because if you are in too hard, in a breeze that is too hard, then you're actually slowing down. So it's all about finding the middle of the breeze. Then you will speed up. That's something, the trick some of the top sailors know. But the winner of this race is further on to the Nations Cup, to knockout round 2 against Denmark. Will it be Ireland? Will it be Sweden? Right now, Wild is back in the lead, Piccolorsen, but is the Irish captain in the lead at the moment. But Sweden dominating.
It is. But there's so little in it. It's really close. It's really fast. And at the moment, look how bunched they are in the middle of the course there on that top left radar. And you can see the wind blowing straight down the course, and they're all there bunched up together. And there's a penalty for Martin Mahn. Yeah. And what is going to happen when they reach this top mark? I think it's going to be carnage. Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch.
Let's try to see it from the top here without the scoreboard. See, there Nadine crossing in. Andrew Baker in the lead. Piccolorsen is going to attack Andrew Baker. Sweden sailor is there. Paul, Jumanti, Wild, Julius Hallström. They're coming into the mark. And see, Alec, now it's going to be Wild. Andrew.
Here we go. Andrew Baker, the leader. Piccolo Rosso, they're through clear. But now the rest of the traffic arrives. And it's like Dodgems. It's like bumper cars. But it's going to be penalties here, there, and everywhere. But they're all round.
But it looks like 4 Swedish, 5 Swedish boat just behind the Irish boat. Let's see the scoreboard. Yeah, no. It's 4 Swedish boats behind the leader. So that's a good thing for Sweden here. Rommel battling General. So it's side by side. It's very important. Remember Dane versus Poland? The leader was the Polish boat, but the Danes had the next 8 spots. But that's not the case here. So we can't calculate who's winning, Alec.
No, impossible. But they're through this bottom gate. They're halfway through this race already. 2 minutes and 40 seconds done only. Ryan Seaton picks up a penalty.
By Brown himself. So penalized by a friend. So friendly fire, please stop. And also the Swedish are doing friendly fire at the moment. Uring killing Nadine. But that's how it goes. Friendly fire is also allowed.
Sometimes there's just so many boats traveling so fast, they just can't get out of each other's way. But it's a shame because it's an unforced error. And at the moment, I mean, really, the fleet is all shuffled, isn't it? I mean, you've got Sweden, you've got Ireland, Sweden, Ireland. It's all mixed up. And guessing who is out in front, who is going to win this Nations Cup match is impossible at the moment.
Yeah.
Remember, Ireland 4, Sweden 4. Whoever wins this match, this is the decider, will go through to the quarterfinals to face Denmark.
Yeah, and right now I can say there's a disconnection for one of the countries. I can't see who. And also the Irish has one on 19 position that can't come back in the race. So I think it's 2 hard points to both teams at the moment. But it's 5 Swedish players just behind Andrew Baker. Let's see it here. Andrew coming first. But now we need to calculate how many Swedes are coming now. Piccolo Olsen.
1 Swede, 2 Swedes, 3 Swedes. I think it's only the 3 before Jumanji comes round with the blue sail. And that's Rommel as well. Oh, General picks up a penalty. Ryan Seaton there as well. Ryan Seaton, an Olympian in the 49er. He's used to fast boats. But he needs to get really fast now and try and make his way up from 9th to see if he can catch some of the Swedes.
But Sweden has 3 boats, 3 boats behind. 3 boats behind. Let's see the winners up here. The leaders coming in. We need to follow a pirate flag from Julius Hallström. There's Pirates of Sweden coming in, but it's a victory for Ireland. But it's not a victory in the game. Remember, it's team match. Andrew Baker comes in. Piccolo Olsen will take 2nd.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. It's a green sail followed by like a navy of yellow sails. And so that's 2nd, 3rd, 4th to Sweden. Ryan Seaton now coming in with his teammates. 2 teammates from Ireland, Brown and Jumanji.
Push. It's this is very important.
Just watch the rear enders come in. It's 2 Swedes bringing up the rear. Who's that on that final side?
That's
another
Harding.
Yellow sail.
And then we have 1 boat left. Way behind. Hit a mark, got a penalty, missed a mark. Jocelyn Hill sneaking in with the 4-leaf. Will this be an Irish victory or will this be a Swedish victory, Alec? Let's go in and do some math. Let's just have it. Let's see who's calculating fast, Alec. I'm pretty sure you will win this time. But let's just take the Irish. That's 1, that's 6, that's 13, that's 21, that's 30 points, that's 43, that's 57, it's 67, it's 72, plus 20, it's an Irish getting a discord. So 77, 87, so it is 96 for the Irish, 99.
99 for the Irish.
No, it's actually...
No?
I think it's actually the Swedish winning it, Alec. I'm just making a small mistake. So we're getting the score here. Are you ready?
Just waiting. We've got someone doing the calculations.
Yeah, but I can say to you, it's very close. It's very close.
Arthur, just to clarify the score that he's just given me.
Yeah.
So he's giving me a score of 99 to 111, but who got the 99?
Who got the
That's what we're-
99?
That's what we're waiting to find out. Sweden win it. Sweden wins it.
got it. Sweden wins because of that disconnection to Martin. It is a Swedish victory. Martin was actually in top 10 when it happened. So a victory for Sweden, 5-4 going into against Denmark in the next round. It couldn't be closer. 99 versus 111. So Sweden wins over Ireland.
Commiserations to the Irish. They fought back, didn't they? They fought back so well. They never gave up. And in the end, it was an unlucky disconnect that cost them that race. But well done to Sweden. They hung in there. They showed their experience and they came out on top, but only just. How will they fare against Denmark, I wonder? Denmark, who qualified last night.
Yeah, very, very, very fantastic race we had today, Ali. I actually saw the Swedish winning it halfway, then the Irish came back, and then this crazy NACRA race in the end, won by a disconnection. Oof.
Yeah, it's a shame, but that's the way it goes. The Swedes, or the Irish, took the Swedes all the way to the wire, but at the same time, we saw Ireland have a couple of disconnects in the earlier race as well. But hey, that's the way it goes. That's sport. That's sailing. That's e-sailing, and well done to Sweden.
Yeah, well done to Sweden. And that's what it's for tonight. Get ready for the battle coming up tomorrow night. That's also to keep very close. Cheers out from here. See you tomorrow in the E-Nations Cup.
Bye-bye.